Welcome back again to Etihad News Updates. Manchester City welcome Manchester United to the Etihad on Sunday, and there are some difficult selection calls facing Pep Guardiola. Man City face three major calls that could define Derby Day approach versus Manchester United. The fact that these sides meet in just the fourth week of the season, and directly after an international break, adds to the uncertainty, and neither manager will be feeling particularly comfortable this week. Ruben Amorim has survived the immediate threat to his job prospects, and a change at Old Trafford looks far more likely to come from his resignation than his dismissal. But United are clearly still under pressure, despite that nerve-shredding win against Burnley. That victory did at least lift them above Manchester City, who have seen the momentum from the opening day disappear in defeats to Tottenham and Brighton. Pep Guardiola badly needs a win here to settle things down, but ahead of Sunday he faces a few key selection decisions, as well as needing to wait on the fitness of some key men. These are the three biggest choices he has to make, and the outcome could define how the Blues tackle Derby Day. Gianluigi Donnarumma has yet to train with his new teammates after a £26 million move from Paris Saint-Germain on deadline day, and he is likely to only get 2 or 3 sessions before Derby Day. Does Guardiola throw him in of the back of that? If you were banking on a clean sheet on Sunday, then 26-year-old Donnarumma would probably get the call ahead of 22-year-old James Trafford. The Italian's presence in goal could change the way City plays, from their ability to play out from the back to the position of the back four, who have become accustomed to playing a high line in front of Ederson and, this season, Trafford. Guardiola could back the continuity and familiarity of Trafford, or go for Donnarumma and bank on the Italian, potentially producing a big moment in goal. Right back is an ongoing dilemma for City this season. Rico Lewis started the first 2 games of the campaign before Matheus Nunes returned against Brighton and produced an unconvincing display. Lewis is the better option when City are dominant in possession, but the question marks are around his physicality and combativeness. Nunes is the more powerful choice. What sort of game does Guardiola envisage? Nunes would feel a likely selection against Arsenal's team of giants, but this is a tougher call. Going for Lewis would arguably be the brave pick, but he is the better footballer and City should look to control and dominate a mediocre United. Goals are the order of the day in attack, and not just from Erling Haaland. City desperately needs someone to step up and share the burden with the Norwegian. The most likely contributor is Omar Marmouch, who got 7 in the Premier League last term after his £59 million mid-season move from Eintracht Frankfurt. The Egyptian won't replace Haaland, but he could take Jeremy Doku's place on the left. Marmouch isn't as eye-catching as Doku, but he will score more goals. Doku can bring the pyrotechnics, however, and he should be confident, having scored twice and got an assist in Belgium's 6-0 win against Kazakhstan. Doku needs to add goals to his game, and although it's a risk, hoping that happens on Derby Day, now might be the time to take the risk, especially with the potential for space behind United's wing-backs. About Man United. Manchester United return to Premier League action with a trip to Manchester City on Sunday. 3 unsettling problems have emerged for Manchester United. Solving them will save season Manchester United, paused for the September international break on the back of a much-needed first victory of the season. The dramatic 3-2 success against Burnley alleviated some of the pressure that had been building following a defeat to Arsenal, a draw at Fulham, and a woeful cup exit at the hands of 4th-tier Grimsby Town. United are 9th in the league on 4 points, ahead of Manchester City, as the 2 teams prepare to face off in the Manchester Derby this week. And while Ruben Amorim will have been mightily relieved to see his side snatch 3 points against the Clarets late on, he will know that much more is required if United are to challenge for a place in the top 6 come the end of the season. Here are 3 issues Amorim must address in the coming weeks. It feels like the United midfield has been in need of a sort-out for much of the past decade. Amorim has pushed Bruno Fernandes back into the middle since the arrival of Matheus Cunha and Brian Mbeumo, but the skipper is not a natural for the number 8 role in terms of defensive awareness and positioning. That has seen a return for veteran Casemiro alongside him, with the Brazil international's nous, and experience seeing him earn a spot in the side at the expense of the seemingly unfancied Kobbie Mainoo and Manuel Ugarte. United have more senior goalkeeper options than they do central midfielders, with the arrival of Senne Lammens taking the tally to 4. That might be reduced by 1 should Andre Onana depart for Trabzonspor on loan, with the 29-year-old reportedly weighing up an offer. Altay Bayindir has held the gloves in the Premier League thus far, but failed to convince, while Tom Heaton, soon to be 40, seems destined to be third choice, regardless in whichever combination of keepers remains. Lamens may well emerge as number 1, but it would be a big ask to throw the 23-year-old in for a debut in the Manchester derby, regardless of Bayindir's shortcomings. But United need consistency, and to pick a horse and back it. Lamens might just be the best bet. Amorim has been ruthless with his squad. He's jettisoned Marcus Rashford and Alejandro Garnacho, among others, and Onana could follow the bomb squad in departing the club this summer. Now the United boss will want his players to be ruthless in the final third. United have scored 4 goals in 3 games and missed a penalty, but half that tally came through own goals and one via Bruno Fernandes's last-gasp match-winning spot kick against Burnley. Mbeumo's goal in the same game is the only open-play strike United have netted in the league. While that paints a negative picture, the underlying numbers are positive. United could and should have been out of sight against Burnley after a dominant first half, while they spurned chances against both Fulham and Arsenal. Indeed, if the table was ranked by expected goals, United would be top with 6.78, while they have also taken more shots than any other side in the Premier League and had more touches in the opposition box with 42 and 99 respectively. This suggests United are attacking with intent and purpose, but failing to convert chances. Amorim will hope Cunha's injury is not too serious, while believing Mbeumo can build on his goal at Burnley and that Benjamin Sesko can find his feet following his arrival. The upcoming Manchester derby is scheduled for Saturday, the 13th of September 2025 at the Etihad Stadium, where Manchester City will host Manchester United. This clash marks a renewed chapter in one of football's fiercest rivalries. Formerly, City continue to dominate in recent head-to-heads, winning 4 of the last 6 league meetings, while United managed just 2 victories. United will aim to upset the trend and reclaim local bragging rights, especially after securing a hard-fought 0-0 draw at home in April. Key players to watch include City's creative forces, Phil Foden, Kevin De Bruyne, and United's dynamic duo, Bruno Fernandes and Alejandro Garnacho. United's manager may also need to adjust, as right-back Diogo Dalot's fitness is in doubt following an injury during international duty. This could force United to adapt defensively against Pep Guardiola's high-octane attack. As the 2 Manchester giants prepare to lock horns, anticipation is high, not just for the result, but for the spectacle and momentum this derby promises early in the season. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more updates.